Welcome back to Retroactive, everybody. It's a brand new year, 2025. But as usual, we are retroactively going to talk about the year prior in movies and TV today. We're going to be ranking our top films, top TV series, all that good stuff of 2024. But first, let me go around the panel, introduce everybody. Of course, joining me as always, Josh McCoy. How you doing, bud?
Doing good, man. Happy to be here as always. It's been a minute since I got to see all y'all's lovely faces, so I'm ready to talk some movies.
Yeah, typical with the holidays. Everything else kind of goes by the wayside. So it's like New Year.
Brandon's all famous now, so he's too cool to talk to us anymore.
That is true. That is true. Speaking of Brandon, how you doing, bud? You feeling better?
Good. Yeah, I've been sick all week, but I'm finally on the up and up. So glad about that, at least.
Flexing that Atlantis poster, I see.
Oh, I thought that's always been up, dude.
That's how long it's been since I've seen your beautiful face.
I guess so.
You are ridiculous. Kat, how you doing?
Good.
And of course, my wife Ashlyn.
I love how it's like collectibles, and then me and Kat have a library.
I
love how brief. She was just like, "Hi," and that's it.
Yeah,
there were no words.
She's like, "Don't talk to me. Bye."
I said hi.
Yeah, it literally looks like you two are sitting in the same space. All right.
Yeah, Brandon are. We're just on opposite sides of the room.
That's right. You just don't even know it.
He has the better lighting.
We are going to be talking about our top movies of the year. So we're going to kick off things. We're going to be doing our top 5. Pretty big year with film, as far as big blockbusters, that sort of thing. Not everything hit, as that typically happens, especially when we're mostly touching on the big blockbusters of the year, but there's on average 200 plus films that come out in a year. If you count all the indie films and everything like that, anywhere from 200 to 250, if you can believe that actually make it into theaters. And I'm just like, I don't know how anybody sees that. Our buddy Steven, who unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, he saw upwards of, I think he said 85 films last year alone.
Mm.
And I don't know where he finds the time. I really don't.
86, so, it's got to be.
I tell you, that's where that AMC A-list really comes in handy. So let's go ahead and kick things off. I'm going to start off with Brandon. Go ahead and give us your top 5 films of 2024.
And tell us why it's Blood and Honey.
It was
what's called a Slaughterhouse.
I was waiting.
Oh my God.
Slaughterhouse. I can't. I forgot. Was that this year or was that last year?
I think that was 2023.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well,
there will be a sequel.
Can't be on your list at least. So starting off at number 5 for mine, it's probably gonna go to Godzilla: New Empire. I wasn't really expecting much of this film, just like every Godzilla release. It's starting to become the new Transformers, where it's just something comes out and it's a live action adaptation, and it's just blah blah blah. But I thought they did a pretty good job with this last one, and they kind of brought a little bit more expansion onto the world that they've created with that film, primarily for Kong, I should say. But I really enjoyed it, and I didn't think it was trash. So I was kind of impressed by that. The fact that it wasn't trash.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. It felt more of how King of Monsters felt as opposed to the first Godzilla versus Kong, where that one kind of was cool and then fell flat at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I think this one had way more of that King of Monsters feel, which I absolutely love. So.
Yeah. So so that's number 5. Number 4 would probably go to Beetlejuice. I didn't rank it any higher just because, quite frankly, I didn't deserve it. It was solid for a movie that they waited, over 20 years to make a sequel for. And we watched it. I was just kind of I looked at her. We're just wasn't bad, wasn't great. I was definitely expecting a little bit more. But it, story wise, they could have flubbed that hard, and they didn't. I felt
just that ending.
Yeah, I agree. It was kind of mid. But I do think that that the world capture was there for sure. It still felt like it felt like a sequel, which was the most important thing to me. Is like, are they going to screw this up with so much of like the newer technology and stuff? Is it gonna feel like Beetlejuice? But it did. It felt like a Beetlejuice movie. So I was really happy about that. Number 3, Inside Out 2. Um, you can't get better than Pixar's tear jerking. I mean, it's they did a great job at capturing specifically anxiety with the new emotions and whatnot, and what it means to kind of go through puberty and go through that adolescent stage. And I felt like they specifically with anxiety, they captured it very, very well.
Yeah, damn that movie, and I was having a full-on
yeah
in the theater.
It was giving all of us panic attacks. I know. So yeah, it was fantastic. Number 2 for me would go to Dune Part 2.
Nice.
Very, very well made, crafted movie. I mean, just top tier cinematography.
No,
I don't
did
know.
not enjoy the Doom movies.
She's not a fan of the Dune series, but that's okay. It's okay to have a terrible opinion.
it was just.
I'm not a fan of sci-fi movies.
That's one that I regret not seeing in the theaters because of how fucking fantastic the cinematography is. You just can't get better than this year. You can't get better than that. That was absolutely incredible.
Well, I
What they're
guarantee
amazing to capture.
Part 3 comes out, they'll do a rewatch of all 3 in theaters.
Oh, I hope so.
What
I hope
movies do they
so.
have to
That would be a
say?
long watch party, though.
Very
because
long day. Yes.
Those are very, very. Those are like Lord of the Rings long.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I don't like Lord
Snyder
of the
cut
Rings.
long.
So I enjoyed the shit out of that movie, though. That was
Okay,
awesome.
that's it. Goodbye, Cat.
Yeah. Finally, I can't. Oh,
Andrew.
wow, he actually kicked her out. Damn.
I'm out.
Finally, can't be understated. Absolutely top tier movie of, oh man, almost my decade.
We see it, Josh.
Josh,
We
we
see-
see you.
Yeah, that
Which-
What is it?
with just not even close. This was my top this year. Deadpool and Wolverine, hands down.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Craven. God damn.
I know, right? No, Madam Web, dude. Madam Web.
Oh my
Venom.
god.
No, but yeah, it's self-explanatory. We have a whole podcast talking about just the fucking fantastic, amazing things that this movie included, and I mean all of it, just so good. I couldn't have asked for a better movie. Realistically, like that was 10 out of 10 to me. So, yeah, that's my top 5.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that. A lot of really good ones in there. The Dune thing that surprised me. I was happy to hear it though.
Really?
Well, it's not that I didn't. It's on my list, but it's just from you because I remember like you and Josh specifically were just like, I don't know, man. I don't really like Dune. Like the first one was kind of like, I had a hard time getting through it, and like Josh had to go through it like 4 times before he didn't fall asleep. So
That was my promise. I kept falling asleep.
Yeah, it is a harder watch.
so
but
to hear the part 2.
Yeah, I think that's probably where I left off talking to you about that. Was when was when Dune 2 was coming out and I was trying to get through Dune 1 to watch Dune 2. What I ended up doing was treating it like it was a series and watching like a little bit through the night, and if I fall asleep on it, I find out where I was and then keep going from there. I do
Like
the same thing with
reading a book.
Yeah, I guess, kind of. I mean, I watch
Sorry.
I watch documentaries like that too, where it's like a 5-hour documentary or something. I'll just take a piece at a time and keep going through it night after night after night. So, doing it that way, it's just it also lets it last a little bit longer, which is also kind of cool. Kind of spreads it out to make where you're like fully fresh on it and you're not kind of sitting there in one sitting getting burnt out. But yeah, it was Dune 1, fantastic movie, and Dune 2 I think is even better than Dune 1.
Awesome.
Did you have a worse movie of the year, Brandon?
Hold on.
Oh shit.
Hold
I
on.
didn't get
Hold
through
on.
that.
Pause. We're gonna come back that. We're gonna come back.
Okay.
Let's jump to Kat with her big list here of movies that she saw this year. Kat has seen a total of 4 films in theaters this year, and so she's gonna give us her best, best to worst, or however you want to put it.
Wait, I have 5.
Oh! She surprised me with 5. Okay, here we go. Let's do this.
Okay, so number 5 was Tarot. Even though Josh did not like it, it was good. It was a little cheesy, but I like those cheesy horror movie kind of vibes. Number 4 was It Ends With Us. I went and seen that in theaters when it came out, and it pretty much stuck to the books, even though I don't like Lively, but it's okay. But everything else, it was very tearjerker at the end, and really honed in on domestic violence and the heartache of that. Number 2 is on the polar opposite, Inside Out 2. And that was just really good. I watched it when it came on streaming services, and like Brandon said, with anxiety and them honing in on everything, it touched home, and it was one of their better movies of, I think, 2024. Number 2 is Beetlejuice. That one surprised me because I heard you guys talk about it, and you said it wasn't that great. It made me scared.
Well, it was like things I liked about it, but it just maybe didn't live up to my expectations for it, I guess. But
what didn't you like about it?
The scattered story, the lack of plot at certain points. We had 3 different storylines playing out, and only maybe one of them got a resolution, and even that one was kind of, the ending was kind of phoned in. I also could have gone without the entire 3.5-minute song segment.
Yeah, Brandon did mention that when we watched it. He's like, "This is a long scene."
It just kept going.
going and going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but anyway.
I do agree with that. I felt like Tim Burton kind of didn't know how to end it. He kind of had it all planned out, and then the end, it's oh.
Yeah.
But number 1 is drum roll, Deadpool. Shocker. It was so good.
I was waiting for her to say Venom.
You're funny. No, it was Deadpool. That was a really top tier movie for the year.
Absolutely.
As I think everyone can agree, hopefully.
Yeah, it's
no Blood and Honey too, but it was good.
I haven't seen that, so
10 out of 10
proud of
recommend.
you.
10 out of 10 recommend.
Have you really seen it?
I did. And I even paid to watch it on Amazon because it was $4 or $5 I paid to watch it.
At least
she just gave me the look of disgust, she was so disappointed, and walked out the room. She's like, "I can't believe you actually paid to watch this." I'm like, I did.
Oh my god.
Was it worth it?
Yes, it was.
And it was a better purchase than Madam Web.
Absolutely, 100%.
Which you own, buddy.
Yeah, you
can
didn't
watch
that.
it
You own
anytime.
Oh, I also I own Venom 3 too.
No, you don't.
I do, because Nixon wanted to see it the other day, and we rented it, and it was $10 to rent it or $13 to buy it, and I was like, I might as well just buy it, and Nixon loved it, so now I'm glad I bought it so he can watch it. But I own Venom 3 too.
Man,
do you already have the first 2?
No.
No.
Oh, I was gonna say, well, at least you completed the set, but no, now you just.
No, I bought it digitally, so I for me, I buy the physical stuff, but at least I bought that digitally.
Okay. Good for you. Ashlyn, let's jump to you for your top 5.
Oh my gosh, this was really hard to narrow down.
In the room.
I don't know that I have mine ranked 1 through 5, but I'll give you my top 5 that made my list. Obviously, Deadpool Wolverine made my list like everybody else, I'm sure, because It was a really good movie. It was really fun to go watch in the theaters with everybody as a group, and we had a great time. So really enjoyed that culmination. Obviously Wicked made my list. So that was really
I am
cool to see. What?
I said I am not shocked by that at all.
Oh, it surprised me. I did not necessarily have high hopes at the beginning when I first heard who was cast, and I was very worried. But everyone did a fantastic job, so I was really happy with that. Another one for me for this year was definitely I would say Godzilla. Godzilla was really good. You know me, if anything goes into lore and like really gets down in the roots of like a lore of anything and goes into the history, I'm all for it. So seeing Kong was super good, and all of the history behind that and the people, and then of course they brought Mothra back, so that
The
was
Queen.
the Queen returned. So I was super excited about that. So yeah, overall, like you said, it was very much like what was it, God of Monsters?
King of Monsters.
King
yeah.
of Monsters, yeah. So I really liked it going back to that sort of feel and everything like that. So I really enjoyed that.
And getting away from Millie Bobby Brown. Just saying.
Yeah. And that whole people plot line. I really liked them if they were doing the indigenous people and the focus on that. So I really enjoyed that movie a lot. Dune 2 was really good. Just like Brandon said, just it's visually stunning. And even though I have not read the books like Andrew has, even just getting the little bit, like I would look over at him and be like, so how does this connect with this? Like through the books and things like that, as far as the lore and everything with Dune. So he was my historical reference guide for that. but it's so visually stunning, you can't help but just get sucked into that world, and it's just so well done. Like I really hope at the Oscars that they win some awards this year just for the cinematography and stuff like that, because it was just so well done. And then for my kitty movie, I loved The Wild Robot. It was so well done. I think it was better than any Disney or Pixar film that came out this year. If it doesn't win an award, it's because Disney bought off the awards. I'm sorry. Like it definitely deserves it. And it was actually nice to have a contender to go up against Disney and Pixar and stand on its own and have an original story. And I literally cried. Like I was like, this is so stupid. I'm crying over this movie, but it was so good and so sweet. And it wasn't dumbed down and pandered to kids. Like it didn't treat kids like they were stupid. And I really liked that it felt like a movie from back in the 90s, like the Don Bluth era and things like that, where we had kids movies that the whole family could watch and you didn't feel like you were falling asleep because it was just stupid and dumbed down.
Mm-hmm.
So I absolutely loved it. If you haven't seen it, go see it if it's on streaming and stuff, because it is so freaking good. Like when the reviews were coming out, they were saying grown men were crying because it is such a good story. So my honorable mention is gonna be the animated Lord of the Rings movie that came out this year, War of Rohirrim. Did I say that right, Andrew?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. Roarheim,
Yeah.
something like that.
It was really good. The animation style was really great. If you're a Lord of the Rings fan, you definitely need to see it. It really shocked and surprised me, and being able to see it on the big screen was really cool. Versus, most of the time when we watch these animated series and stuff, they're always, it's a series, we're at home watching it, but getting to see that on the big screen, it was really interesting, and they did such a good job with it. So that is my honorable mention.
That's a good one for sure. All right, Josh, it is your turn. Go ahead and tell us what you have until you get to Deadpool and Wolverine is number one.
You sound so excited to hear my top 5.
I'm
favorite
just
movies.
kidding,
I
man.
can hear your voice there, my friend.
It's this move that was just like, like I wonder what it is,
Well, my list, obviously minus like one movie. My list is gonna be kind of, or two movies, is gonna be pretty different from y'all's. I think coming at number 5 for me was Smile 2. I think Smile is a very good horror franchise, and they announced number 2, and then I realized it was me like following like a pop star and everything. I thought that was kind of lame, but I forget the actress who the main actress is. She's newer, but she played Going Insane perfectly, and it had twists in it that I call movies from the moment they start. It had twists on it that I didn't even catch on to. So I thought it was an overall very good horror film, and I had a lot of genuine fun watching it.
Yeah, I can't remember her name, but she was Jasmine in the live action Aladdin, and she is the Pink Ranger in the Power Rangers movie.
Yeah,
Naomi Scott.
Thank you. I knew that.
She did a really good job. Coming in after that would probably have to be Alien Romulus. Big sci-fi guy. I love Alien, love Predator. They really kept. It really felt like you were watching one of the original Alien movies, and the aesthetic they gave when they were filming it. It felt like I put it on the other day. My son walked in, and he's like, "Why does the movie look so old?" And he's like, "It's a new." But I'm like, "That's how they filmed it. They filmed it to look old, and I can appreciate that." So I thought that was a really good film. I had a lot of fun coming out of that. Number 3 would have to be A Quiet Place Day 1. I don't know. I just love that franchise, and it was also an experience getting to watch it with you guys. So that also, brings it up a notch when you're with, your good friends and everything.
I forgot about that one. That one was really good.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
The fact that you were like, we're going to go watch this. You made us watch the entire franchise.
Yeah, I was so proud of you guys.
Yeah, it was really good. We really enjoyed that franchise.
And then he made you walk through the haunted house.
Yes, we did.
And that haunted house was better than Insidious. I'm sorry.
I don't know. The Quiet Place was pretty scary.
After that one, I'd have to be pretty much close to what you guys say. Dune 2. The first one, it did not take me 4 times to watch it. It took me 2 times to watch it. But the first time I fell asleep, actually 3 times. The first time, but my mistake was I would put it on late at night before you go to bed. That's not a movie you put on before you go to bed. That's a movie you put on midday or like dinner time or something. And then it was getting late and I was falling asleep. But then I finally watched it. And then it was the next day we went and watched the second one. And I came home and was telling my lady in there how good the movie was and how much I wanted to watch it, even though I know she's not a sci-fi person. But the cast alone sells the movie. I think it's a really good movie, and aesthetically, the way they filmed it, it was just a beautiful film. And of course, number 1 is the one and only Kraven the Hunter. That movie was fantastic. I literally peak cinema, a perfect way to end the Sony universe.
You're so dumb.
It was so. It was so good. But no, Deadpool Wolverine, for real.
That's what I thought.
Easily best film of the year. Again, it was just another experience watching with you guys. I got to watch it twice that day. And it really felt like an event film. We don't feel like we don't get a lot of those anymore. I think the last one I can remember was probably No Way Home. And there's just something about it feeling like you're going to like a concert or an event or something that really elevates that movie. And yeah, that's my top 5 for 2024. Honorable mention, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2.
Perfect God.
Brandon, you should do honorable mention of those president documentaries.
Nah.
Nah.
You love them, though.
Nah. That has no place here at all.
It is an honorable
I love them, but I respect that has zero place in this whatsoever.
Fair, whatever.
Listen, everybody's got their thing. If you like documentaries, that's great. Ashley and I read books. Well, I mean, so does Kat, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
sorry.
normally I feel like can
that's not
fit
real.
into retroactive more than a documentary.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah, like let's talk about history, guys.
All right, so I guess I'll go. Let's see here. So it was really hard to try and rank these, but I think I did the best I could here. So my number 5 is actually going to be Transformers 1. I think that was a really, really well done movie. Like I really hope it gets a chance to get a sequel and they get to continue on from where they left off, because I think that this is exactly what the Transformers camp needs going forward. I was so much in the camp of like, no, this seems dumb. The way they advertised it was just terrible. Like, the marketing for this movie was not good. They just tried the trailers focused way too much on just the comedy bits and like the silliness of it and everything like that, and it really wasn't. Like, obviously you have Bumblebee is always going to be the comedic relief, and of course you have Jordan Peele voicing Bumblebee, so it's going to be even more so. But this is actually like there's serious moments in this film, and there's moments I remember taking Ashlyn to see it when I saw it the second time, and we kind of had these like, yeah, okay, this is happening in a kids movie right now. Like, there's a couple of dark moments in that film, and as Ashlyn likes to say, like, the lore that they were doing from taking from like the old Transformers stuff and then kind of building upon it. But everything's happening on Cybertron. Everything's happening with just fucking Transformers. I'm gonna say that again. Fucking Transformers, not humans, but robots. And that's all we wanted to see. That's all I wanted to see this entire time. So I think that was a really, really well done movie. Moving on to my number 4, The Wild Robot. Like Ashlyn was saying, fantastic movie. Probably, like, I would probably put it as my like contender for best animated film for the Oscars. I really, really, really hope that it wins. But like she said, Disney. So wait, I know Moana 2 isn't going to be. If Moana 2 even gets a nomination, I swear to God. But that's for another conversation.
I need to hear tea on Moana too.
Yeah, she was hyped about it.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Not good. That's all I'm going to say. Number 3, Lord of the Rings, War of Rohirrim or Rohirrim, like we were trying to figure out. Like Ashlyn said, fantastic movie. Y'all know I'm very new to the Lord of the Rings stuff, having just watched it for the first time like last year or into 2023. I honestly can't remember at this point. So I'm not the biggest Lord of the Rings person. Obviously, there are some people that are way more in depth with this, maybe have different feelings of it. I think it was just a really well done film. The way it was animated was absolutely gorgeous. I loved the meshing of that like anime style, kind of like a mixture between just anime and like Studio Ghibli-esque art with something like Lord of the Rings, anything fantasy like that. Very, very beautiful. The main character for this, she was amazing. So badass. So if you haven't seen that movie, watch it. This is where it gets tough. Number 1 and number 2. I think I'm actually going to put Deadpool and Wolverine as number 2.
You son of a bitch! I knew he was going to do this. I knew he was. We couldn't just all be in unison, Andrew. We couldn't. No.
All right.
Oh,
moving on to our next segment. Moving on. We don't need that blasphemy in here.
Oh God. Oh shit.
This is my show, bitch.
Oh shit.
I'm the one with the hamburger helper, though.
That's why it's so difficult. Like, because it is the most fun and exciting like time at the movies you could possibly have this year. But I have this soft spot for Dune. So Dune Part 2 is my number 1.
That's fair.
Like, I absolutely just love the first film, and the second film just builds upon that, and I'm so excited to see what happens next. I finally watched the series Dune Prophecy, which really has nothing to do with what these movies do. It's set 10,000 years before the Dune movies, but that's pretty good too. If you haven't watched that series, check it out.
This is what you did. This is what you just did. You see this
Oh
necklace
Lord.
here?
The locket.
Yeah,
locket.
you broke
You broke
my
his
heart.
heart.
You broke my heart. Like, you broke it.
Damn.
You're
Oh
welcome.
Lord.
So I'll put honorable mention. I'm with Josh on the Quiet Place Day One. I'd put that as an honorable mention. I think that was a really well done movie. I was really curious how they were going to be able to do that in like a self-contained story, the way that they were able to make us care about the characters that quick with everything that happened, and the story they built behind the character, really like heart-wrenching, and it was just super well done. I still I still laugh thinking about the people carting shit in the street, like with the rolling, rolling back,
Suitcases.
and
Dumbasses.
wheelchairs and everything like that, making so much fucking noise in the middle of the road. You just hear the and they're going over gravel and shit, and you're just like, oh my god, people would be this stupid. This is so accurate. You did so well, like, you know. So that's everybody's top 5. Let's real quick. I'm gonna say for my worst film of the year, because I didn't see Craven, I'm going to say Madam Web is absolutely without a doubt my worst film of 2024. Brandon, how about yours?
I did not see Craven. I did not see Madam Web. So I have a feeling that those two, maybe not Craven based off of what Josh was saying, but Madam Web for sure would probably take the spot if I actually saw it. Worst film of the year, probably that I saw at least, Venom.
I would put that there if it wasn't for Madam Web.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Madam Web.
Kat, what's yours?
Besides really cheesy Hallmark movies,
Thank you. God. Thank you.
there were some good ones. I don't want to
You
say
still,
there were
you
some
still
good
watch
cheesy.
them.
Yeah, there were some good cheesy ones, but there were some bad cheesy ones.
Oh, Lord.
I'm gonna just go with Venom too. It wasn't great. And Red one.
Comedy was 10 out of 10 though.
Comedy wasn't that.
It was. The comedy was good. Everything else.
It was a movie.
Nah.
It was a movie.
Okay, Josh, how about you?
I'm gonna have to go with Wicked.
Excuse
What?
me?
I'm kidding. I
Excuse me?
I haven't even seen Wicked.
I haven't even
I'm
either.
gonna have to
Them's
go with It
fighting
Ends With
words,
Us.
bud.
No, truthfully, I would have to say It Ends With Us.
Hmm.
Really?
I'm kidding. I haven't seen that one either.
I was
I'm
like,
just trying to
I
fool
thought
you guys.
saw that one.
No, Madam Web. That one's a given. I've never hated a Marvel movie before, and I absolutely hate that movie. Like that's all I gotta say. It's trash. Like it should just not exist.
Ashlyn?
To be different, because I do agree with everybody on Madam Web, I would say my other worst film of the year was Moana 2.
Mm.
Dang, it was that bad?
So before we went to go see it, we got a text from Steven, our friend that couldn't be on tonight. And he goes, Disney must think kids are fucking stupid because of this movie. Like,
What?
yeah, like it is so dumbed down. You can tell that it was supposed to be a series and not a movie. There's way too many songs. Like you can tell that they had set it up that there was going to be a singing part in each episode because there's literally 8 songs.
It was originally
Wow.
a series. They recut it to be a film when they decided they wanted to do a theatrical run instead. But it was originally a series before it got its run. So yeah.
There's redeeming parts in it that are good, but overall as a cohesive, it's not a cohesive story. It's not, the comedy is not funny at all. Like it's very stupid, like
There's
fart
like
joke.
Yeah, fart jokes,
Yeah.
poop joke, that sort of thing. Like
Yeah.
it's just super big step down from the first Moana. Like
No one
Yeah.
knows how much it blows.
And
Well,
see,
that's
that's
the
the
other-
other thing, the
Go ahead.
songs.
yeah,
Were they
Like-
bad?
you can't like Steven has this thing. He's like, I will pay you $100 if you can even hum one of the songs from Moana 2, because they're so like forgettable and not memorable at all. But none of them are good. That you won't even remember them when you leave the fucking theater.
Wow. That sucks.
Yeah. So it just, that's why we're like so adamant that like if it even gets nominated for anything, it's because Disney greased some palms, because it does not deserve any sort of nomination for an animated feature film.
Yeah, it's
At
like
all.
I'll give you Inside Out 2. Sure, absolutely, like especially over Moana 2, but not Moana 2.
Yeah.
Like, and then he went. Steven went and saw Mufasa, and he's like, and somehow this was worse than Moana 2.
Yeah, I don't want to see it. I know
Like,
it's gonna be bad.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
didn't really want to see it either. He went with like a group of friends, and he's like, "I already know it's gonna be bad, but here we go." And it's like,
Yeah,
I've been saying
Disney's
that since
just
day one.
been dropping the ball with their movies recently. I hope they get back on track. We
Well,
don't
they
need
have
any more
Snow
live
Avengers
White
Endgame was
actions.
trash.
let
They
me
have
ask
Snow
y'all.
White next, and I don't think
one
that's gonna
more,
be great either.
Let me ask y'all one more movie question, real quick. Well, actually, I think I got two. First one is: was there any movie that you were like super hyped on that you went and saw that you were like the most disappointed in when you experienced it?
Venom 3.
Because
that was supposed to introduce Noel, which was
Yeah.
supposedly, if that movie did really well, was going to be the villain for Spider-Man 4. Movie obviously tanked, so it's not going to happen. But they announced Noel, which is like up there with Doctor Doom. So I was like, had some hope, and then they just fumbled it.
see, like when I hear a movie's this bad, I just don't go see it. Like I know that may be contrary to a lot of what this show's about, but like I just don't like wasting my time. and I feel like honestly that's how I felt about a couple of these on this year's releases. One of which, the one that I was probably the most hyped of this year, was Borderlands. And I just saw it getting shit on and shit on and shit. I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't even want to go see this because I have such good memories of the games, and the games are still phenomenal. Why would I want to go taint my memory of this? Like, I know it's gonna suck now. And so that one by far, I haven't seen it yet, but I know it's not good. So no point.
Ashlyn, Kat, are there any of for y'all?
I'd say, even though I haven't seen it yet, I was really hyped for that Moana 2, and now hearing how bad it is, oh,
Sorry.
I'm very sorry.
And like,
I'm very sorry about
it's all good. I'm still probably gonna watch it, but I've
Yeah.
heard from multiple people that it runs like a show should have run.
Just
Yeah.
And then,
wait
like
for
Brandon
it.
said,
I was saying, just wait for it to hit Disney Plus. Don't spend your money.
yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna do. It should be soon here.
Yeah.
And then, like Brandon said, we were really hyped for Borderlands, but
Yeah.
now we really don't even want to see it just because of all the hate it was
There's
getting.
no point.
Yeah.
It's out. I mean, you can watch it. I think it's on Peacock. I still just don't care enough to watch it, really.
No.
I would say Madam Web for me. Like, I was really excited with the whole like female Spider-Man cast and everything. And I'm a big Dakota Johnson fan. I think she has really great acting chops. I know she gets a lot of shit because she was in all of the 50 Shades movies and things like that. But honestly, some of her other body of work that I've seen her do is she is a fantastic actress. And so I was pretty pumped about it. And then obviously we started hearing the rumblings. And then even then, I don't think any of us knew how shit that movie was going to be till we actually saw it. So
that's a good one. Honestly, that's a really good one. Cause like, even though we were kind of like, why is this movie happening? There was some really good ideas that they were talking about, and then just absolutely shit the bed.
yeah.
Yeah, I think mine, honestly, that sticks with me thinking about this is Bad Boys, Ride or Die.
Yeah, that's another
Because
one.
Bad Boys for Life was so fucking good when it came out, and I was like, oh, this is great. Did it need another one? Probably not. But I was like, yeah, we're going off a high note on the last movie. We're building upon that. Let's do that. It was not good. It was just really not good, and I'm still disappointed in it. And
Yeah.
it'll probably get another movie, and it doesn't need one. But yeah, that's my pick for that one.
If they do another one, someone's got to rein Martin Lawrence in because he was too fucking much in this last one. Like, his comedy was not funny. It was not well timed.
They should have just let him die. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say it. They should just let him die. It's fine. Okay, and then one last quick one before we move on. What is your biggest like oh shit moment from the movies this year? Your like favorite moment in film for 2024?
I
Josh?
think we have to start with Josh.
I'm about to make a name for myself.
Yes, I second that. Okay.
Mine was seeing Wesley Snipes' Blade. By
That's
far.
cool.
By far. That was my oh shit. That's exactly what I said. I was like, oh shit.
I think we all
Yeah.
did, yeah.
Yeah.
Just getting to see all of them walk through in the room.
Yeah,
Back
the
to back to
Gambit
back.
thing
I was
that's been
gonna say,
rumored for
yeah.
a while, but to get Wesley Snipes in there, that was to me a way bigger cameo. So
Mhm. Ashlyn?
Yeah, probably live action Gambit and just getting to see that come to full fruition and everything like that. That and then Johnny Storm as from Fantastic Four. That one we didn't know was coming 100% and who he was going to show up as. So seeing him as Johnny Storm, that was one of those like, oh fuck, that's crazy.
Yeah. It's definitely like it's hard not to pick something from like Deadpool and Wolverine or something like that. There's
Yeah.
good moments in that. But I'll just say, since I did like Dune Part 2 as my number one, getting to see Paul Atreides actually ride the sandworm
That was cool. Yeah.
was a pretty epic scene to see on the big screen. So let's go ahead and jump to our top TV shows of 2024. A lot of good television this year. Arguably better TV this year than there was movies.
I second that motion.
Let's start with Josh here. Josh, why don't you give us your top shows of the year?
I got the list right here. I just see.
Are
I
we
was
ranking
gonna
them?
put Creatures Commandos on there, but it technically finished this year, so I don't know if it really counts for 2024. You know, it did start.
Count it in 2024. It's fine. It's up to you.
But if I'm taking that one out in no really particular order, it'd have to go like either like Agatha All Along, X-Men '97, and Fallout. And then if I did have an honorable mention, it would be The Penguin, because that one itself was a big surprise. And honestly, that one goes back and forth between that and Fallout, to be completely honest with you. But I don't know if did you guys ever finish The Penguin?
We did.
no,
Yes.
I have not yet.
I thought that was, even the Batman stuff aside, I just thought that was a really good like drug crime lord type mafia type show, and it kept me entertained the entire. And then that finale, which I don't want to spoil it, but you know who he kills or whatever. Like I was not expecting that, and that like got at my heartstrings right there. But then of course Fallout was a great time, and then everybody knew X-Men '97 was going to be a hit, and it was really cool getting to talk to all of them this past year on Toy Quest. And then the biggest surprise, because I've been on record crapping on that show, saying we didn't need it. Agatha All Along was a very fun ride. Catherine Hahn, right? That's her name? Yeah, Catherine Hahn.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, she killed it in that role. That's one of the roles I feel like she's perfect for that role, and it was just an overall good time. I thought Wiccan introduction of Wiccan was a good show, and I liked not good show, a good. I like the way they did it, and I just think I like what that show is leading up to, and all the possibilities with that, like the Young Avengers and things of that nature. But yeah, overall, when it comes to shows, I think 2024 is a better year for shows than it was for movies.
Definitely seems that way. I'll appreciate that, man. I know you said you got to head out, so
Unfortunately, I apologize for the abruption, but I do have to head out. But it was a pleasure, and as always, and I will. We're gonna try again in the next for the first 2025 show. When?
Probably in the next week or something like that. We'll kick off with some of these new shows, because we got Creature Commandos just ended. Skeleton Crew is ending this week, so we're gonna have some stuff to talk about here shortly. So,
have any of you guys started Creatures Commando or finished it at least?
we finished.
Not yet.
Have you started it? I definitely
I
recommend.
don't even know what it is.
The new. It's basically technically the new start of the new DC universe with James Gunn.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's only 8 episodes, and they're only like 20 minutes apiece, so it's real easy watch.
But it's very, very. If you're a fan of things like Invincible and things like that, then you'll like the show. I feel like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Josh, let the people know where they can find you real quick before you head out.
You can find me over at McCoy Culture on all platforms, and then on Toy Quest with Miguel, and then of course on Retroactive with all these beautiful fine folks right here.
All right. Thanks for being on, man.
Again, y'all have a good night.
See you later.
See ya.
All right. Let's jump over to Ashlyn this time for top TV shows.
This, like we're all saying, TV had such a better year this year than I think feature films did. This was really hard to narrow down because we watched a lot of shows this year. I was actually shocked when we were going through our list. So my number 5 show for this year was Arcane. I do think I liked the previous season better than this year's season, but I still enjoyed it, and it's really good. And there's been so many good animated shows going on right now, so it's really hard to pick. I would say my number 4 is Fallout, especially since we went into it knowing nothing about it. It was so well done and so good, and I really enjoyed every episode. Kind of kept me on the edge of my seat as to what was going on and everything like that. And so, yeah. And the lead actress did such an amazing job. So it was okie dokie. So yeah, it was really well done. And to be newbies into that whole universe and never playing the games or like I said, really knowing anything about it, it was a really good time and a really good introduction into that universe. And I hope that they continue with another season and we just get to keep following along with that storyline and all these characters that we've been introduced to. My number 3 is going to be Vox Machina for that new season. We've never really played Critical Role at all, and had never really been in that universe before. So we've been dipping our toe in a lot of new universes lately with shows we've been getting into and kind of expanding our reach on what we've been watching. And it was so good. This show has had us in a chokehold since it came out, and this newest season, just like the prior ones, was just so freaking good. Like, honestly, like I said, it was so hard to pick these and rank these because all of these shows were just so freaking good. I'd say my number 2 is X-Men 97 because, of course, like, it's just the animation, everything that's followed with it. Like, this is going to be one of those series that really reinvigorates people coming to Disney Plus and that platform, and reinvigorates that style of animation and just the superhero universe. I think it's kind of what we need right now. So it was really good. And like Josh said, getting to meet all of the voice actors on Toy Quest and everyone that's behind this project is just really neat and cool, and so excited that we got to be a part of that. And then my number 1, probably no surprise, is Agatha All Along. It's just
Shock.
shock and awe. I know. Absolutely loved it. I loved that I was surprised by it because it would have been so easy to just go into it thinking it was this one thing, and then it was I never suspected anything that they did, as far as felt like I could see what was coming. All of the twists and turns and the journeys that we went on were absolutely great. I feel like there's a couple characters we could have spent a little more time with, but honestly, Catherine Hahn, Aubrey Plaza knocked it out of the park. It just, everybody did. Of course, the kid who played Teen / Wiccan, all of it. It was great. It was amazing. And the fact that they did so much practical for it with the effects just is a testament to why it's such a good show.
Absolutely. That's a really good list. Yeah, I'm not surprised that Agatha's your number 1, but I cannot fault you at all for that being your number 1. Honestly, It's one of the best shows of the year. Kat, let's jump over to you.
Alrighty. Let me see. Pull on my notes here. Let me start at number 5. So, honestly, surprisingly, X-Men 97 is my number 5. just because I don't feel like I had as much of a connection to it as you guys did with the originals. I didn't watch it as much as you did, but I still thought the new run was good.
That's fair. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I remember seeing it as a kid, but we were kind of like rewatching it almost like for the first time through
Yeah.
before the new one started to, understand what was happening. But I get it.
And then let's see. Number 4 is an odd one that I forgot came out in 2024 until I was scrolling. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which is based on a book series.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about it. I haven't watched
Oh,
it yet,
good.
and I always see the books. I haven't bought them yet, but I've heard it's good though.
Yeah, I watched it on the flight to Chicago and finished it recently, and it was really good. It had a lot of like thriller scenes and mystery, and I quite enjoyed it.
I'll have to add that one to my list.
Yeah, it was like a little like teeny bopper show, but I enjoy those. And number 2, I put this at number 3. Oh wait, number 3 is Fallout. I quite enjoyed that, but that's because we and Brandon played the games, so we can see like all the little Easter eggs and where they're going with the next season from that last clip.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for the next season that's going to come up.
Yeah, I think Andrew and I were both super shocked, like how much we liked it, just because of the fact of like we never played the games, so we weren't like in the lore the way you guys were. So that just shows like how good of a series it was
Exactly.
for it to be able to grab new viewers without them knowing anything about the story.
I've heard that from a few people too. It's the same thing. They never played the games, but they really enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
Number 2, just because it is not finished yet, but I really enjoy it, and it's really fun, and it's Skeleton Crew.
Nice.
I love it. It's like Space Goonies. And when you got, what's his name? Eli? I think
you talking like Elephant Kid?
Yeah.
Neil.
Yes.
I knew that was going to be her favorite character. It's mine too.
He's got a whole little family and siblings. Oh. And I like seeing like the different worlds and like just being in the Star Wars universe again.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see like how it's going to be wrapped up and end it for the season. And number 1, with no surprise, Agatha. It's so good, and all the details and everything they added in was just wow. But that was my top 5. It was really hard to narrow them down.
It really was.
There definitely was more like shows versus
You're gonna
movies.
you're gonna want to correct once I put once I say my number 2, because I had to do
Why?
a correction because it wasn't on the initial list Andrew
Did I miss
put
one that
out.
we watched?
Yeah, a big one, but you'll don't trust me, you'll kick yourself. I know you will when I say it.
Oh, okay.
Then let's hear, Brandon. What's your list?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 5. This started. It was more in 2024, so I'm gonna include it. But it started coming out at the very end of 2023. So I don't know if that counts, but if it counts, it counts. Invincible season 2. This show swept me off my feet. I have never read the comics before. Saw season 1 when it dropped, and I was instantaneously hooked to this show. It is just one of those incredible adaptations.
Oh, I know what it is.
Yeah, you do. I bet you do after I said that.
Yeah.
But Invincible season 2, phenomenal transition from season 1 as well. I mean, it's a good continuation, and I just every time they drop an episode, let alone a season finale, I am just like I am killing myself waiting for the next season. So it's Invincible season 2. Number 4 would be Agatha All Along. Another one. I loved it. I loved it. Yeah, number 4. I love that we were all like preemptively shitting on this because of when it was coming out, and now it's in. I'm sure everybody's top 4. our top 5
Correction,
on here.
all you boys were shitting on it. Me and Kat
Nah,
We
knew it was gonna
seen, we
be
knew.
good.
nah. Even you guys were like, "Why is this coming out after
You were
Deadpool?"
optimistic,
Yes.
but you weren't saying like, "Oh, this is going to be the best show ever." You were just
No.
optimistic. But I will give you credit that you were shitting on it.
Mhm.
You just weren't going to be like, "This will be the top show of the year."
I
This was
still don't think it's the best thing Marvel's ever put out, but it's definitely a lot better. You know, it's a lot better than what I was way better than what I was expecting. But I think in general Marvel had a slow year this year, just really slow. But that one was a nice highlight to a very slow year. Very, very well done show.
I changed my list.
Number 3.
I
Number
know what it
3.
is.
Number three for sure is Skeleton Crew. I actually had this at number 2 before I forgot about my next number 2. But Skeleton Crew is the breath of fresh air that Star Wars has needed for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
I was optimistic about this show, but I am like so on board with this. This is everything I did not know I needed from Star Wars. And I was really getting burnt out on the bullshit. I mean, after Acolyte, I was really fucking let down. But this is a testament to the fact that you don't have to reinvent the wheel for Star Wars. You can go off of something as simple as just a kid's adventure and make it so freaking good. So yeah, I may be preemptively saying that, but I'm going out on a limb because they could botch this ending and it could make me change my whole opinion on this show. But everything I'm seeing so far, I'm just like, I am so in on all of it. Number 2, the latest season from The Boys, by far.
Yeah,
That was, yeah, I knew. I
totally
knew.
slipped my mind.
I'm sure. I don't know. I don't know how that slipped Josh's too, because I know he's involved in The Boys as well. But yeah, that was a hell of a fucking season. I mean, just the places that they went to, where I'm just like, there's no way they just did that. Like that was a season and a half. I mean, to me, I just I know they're going to top it with whatever they do with season 5. They better, otherwise, it's going to be a letdown for the fans. But the way that they have set up this finale is astronomical. I can't think of a show in recent history that in my lifetime at least, where I can just say it is a solid watch. I'm sorry, it's a top tier watch, start to finish. And so far they're hitting that mark. I mean, I fanboy over this show, but I really don't see another show out there since like maybe Breaking Bad, but Breaking Bad had its slow points too. This is just a hell of a watch. I mean, all the way through it, I think that they're really just knocking it out of the park. And I can't wait for this season finale. Number 1, by far, Fallout. I can't top it. This year,
We're
that was
so surprised, Brandon.
I know. It's just I can't. I've been waiting for a video game adaptation that does it justice and really shows the world that there's so much more to video games than just nerd culture. I mean, I'm sorry, like, you know, we're all nerds here, but I've grown up with video games my whole life, and I've seen adaptation after adaptation come by and just disappoint and disappoint and disappoint. And
True.
you know, the best we can get, it seems like, out of and have for years gotten from video game adaptations is just, oh, that wasn't bad. But there's not been one that's just been, you know, since maybe The Last of Us. You know, The Last of Us was more of a retelling of the same cutscenes, same dialogue, same story. This is an original TV series based off of that game, the game series, and it is just knocked out of the park on how much love, lore, and just total fun that they wanted to shove in here. And I have to give it credit. I mean, even if I was not the biggest Fallout fan, if I knew the history and the lore, I would still be putting this at number 1 just because of the dedication and craft that they put into everything having to do with this show. So I'm extremely excited about the next season. Like Kat said, And I'm blown away this year. Like you said, TV to me this year was way better than movies. Way better.
Yeah, for sure.
Now you're forgetting, Brandon, the Oscar-winning video game adaptation that is Doom. So,
yeah.
with one of the
Yeah.
greatest first-person
Dwayne The Rock
of
Johnson.
all time, doing the
Yeah.
full-on first-person view in the. Oh my god, that movie!
Nah.
Holy shit!
Yeah, that was terrible.
Oh Lord.
All right. So mine was very difficult. I actually kind of I excluded a couple of things like Ashlyn included Vox Machina. I kind of took out the ones that were additional seasons of things like Arcane season 2, Vox Machina season 3, because it's established stuff. I kind of tried to focus on ones that are new shows. These are their first seasons out the gate for 2024. And even that was still kind of difficult. So I'm going to put, for right now, I've got Skeleton Crew as my number 5. I really love Skeleton Crew. I'm really enjoying it. I'm feeling like we got to be doing a season 2 or something like that with this show, because there's no way this is getting all completely wrapped up in one episode. They're setting up way too much stuff right now. Not with the kids specifically, with just everything else in the background going on.
The planet, yeah.
So whether it's this or some sort of continuation of it, something else has to be coming down the pipeline. But it's fantastic. It's just so much fun. It's what, like you said, it's what Star Wars needs. We need fun. We need adventure, all that kind of stuff, and that's exactly what we're getting. I put Creature Commandos at number 4. I think that was a really, really solid show. I had very low expectations going into it. I've been kind of vocal on other shows like Toy Quest and stuff like that. My thoughts on the whole James Gunn, Superman situation. It's not that I don't think he can run DC Studios. It's with that movie in particular, he's running DC Studios. He wrote Superman and directed it. And while he's a very really good director and a good writer, you're putting so much into one person. I use the example of, it's kind of feeling like a George Lucas prequel situation. And I'm a little concerned that there's no checks and balances with this sort of stuff. But on the animated side, when you're working with the Creature Commandos, it's what he's known best for. It's basically a Guardians of the Galaxy type feel, in the sense of this ragtag group of the outcasts, and the if you want to say C or D level DC characters, way down the line, kind of like when we got Guardians of the Galaxy. They're these people are who are these people? But it's such a well done show. It's way more adult than I thought it would be.
Very adult.
Especially the first official new DCU thing. First episode out the gate, I'm whoa, okay. We're dropping F-bombs and there's naked people and all kinds of shit going on. So it's
Hell yeah.
It's good. It's very good. Obviously they're setting up season 2. I hope that comes sooner rather than later. My number 3, I put Fallout. That was kind of like Ashlyn. It shocked the hell out of me. Didn't know anything about it. So the fact that they could, hook me in from episode 1, let me learn about the world, even if it's just this version of it from the, for the series itself, and the world building that they created off of that. So if you're able to draw in, fans and newcomers to this like that, then you've clearly done something right. So I think that was a fantastic show. Can't wait for season 2 on that. I put Agatha All Along as my number 2 because, like the rest of you guys, it shocked the hell out of me. Well, maybe not the 2 at the bottom, but it shocked the hell out of me. And I can't believe how much I love that show, and ended up raving about it episode to episode. Damn you, Disney, though, with the week to week bullshit. I'm tired of it. And then probably not surprising for Ashlyn, but I put X-Men 97 as my number 1. Did I love every single episode? No, but I did love majority of the episodes. And to have, sorry, just trying to talk about it. The Gambit thing alone that's like a fucking Oscar-winning moment, Golden Globe, whatever the TV version of it is, daytime Emmy, I don't know, but it deserves awards. It's getting some recognition. And X-Men 97 is getting some recognition within its own field and stuff like that. But that episode alone is it's not just heart-wrenching, it's just so well done. And the season as a whole was so amazing. To have to pick up where you left off, 25 years ago or whatever is insane. And almost 30 years ago. And to be able to do it so well and the animation is so good. I'm so mad we're not getting season 2 this year. We're probably waiting to easily next year for it. This is starting to turn into like a, Edge of the Spider-Verse or whatever the third one's called. Beyond the Spider-Verse, I can't remember what it's called. Situation where we have no idea when it's coming, but it's happening, So X-Men 97, please, sooner rather than later. Like Ashton said, it was amazing getting to talk to and meet all these different people from the X-Men cast, original and 97. So it was, a no-brainer for me to put that as my number one. I did want to do an honorable mention, though. Twilight of the Gods on Netflix. That was, what's the director's name? Zack Snyder. Directed. I don't know if he was like completely behind it, but it's like one of his projects. It's a Norse mythology, right, Ashlyn? Was it Norse?
Yeah, Norse
mythology type of show, and it's adult, it's bloody, it's gritty, it's what you would expect from like a Snyder type of thing, but it's animated, and it was really well done. Shocked the heck out of me. I
forgot by the title of it when it was on the list what that was, and now
that one we burned through that in like a day. I highly recommend checking that out. I'm hoping it gets to continue because Netflix is not great about green lighting things for me too. So we'll see about that. And then kind of like we did with the movies, I just want to do a couple of additional questions here. What was your biggest, like, kind of like what I said, like, oh shit moment from any of the series that y'all saw on there? Was there like anything that you just absolutely lost your mind with, Brandon?
I had probably two. So the first one in The Boys, seeing that Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character was actually in Butcher's mind the whole time. Spoiler alert if you plan on going to go watch The Boys.
Well, I might as well not watch it now. I was going to.
I know, right?
Tomorrow.
That kind of got me. I was not expecting that. There's all these theories and whatnot on going on like episode after episode, like what's going on, these fan theories that were being made up, and that was one of them, and it turned out to be true. That he was going to be just a kind of a construct that was made up in his mind due to the temp fee. But yeah, it was a very, very what the fuck type moment. The other one that I had was at the very end of Fallout, finally seeing New Vegas. That was definitely a what the fuck moment, an oh shit moment, because that's where they're going in season 2. New Vegas is a pinnacle for all Fallout fans. So I'm stoked to see what they do with season 2. But that was definitely like the right way to end that show. It's just like just showing it. You don't gotta go into it, but just show it. Like make reference to it and just like let the fans do what the fans do.
Absolutely. Kat, you have anything?
I second Brandon with just the cut scene at the end of that season of Fallout. It was really good. And just let your mind wander of where it's going to go next. And then as for anything else, Agatha all along was probably my next one. And just how it was Billy who had everything planned and the little items in his room that connected to the path and
that was
connected everything together.
That was one of those M. Night Shyamalan twists right there.
Yeah, I didn't think about it for a minute. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Ashley?
that one's definitely like on my list of like what the fuck, the road's not real, and
Yeah.
Billy created all of this. That was probably, I'd have to say that was the biggest one of the year for me, was that, like, just the fact that the road isn't real and that she created the song with her son to lure the witches and everything, and that, and then like Kat said, the callback with all the little things in his room is what helped his subconscious mind create the road. That was like insane, like so
If you're not
insanely good.
expecting it.
Yeah. And then I would say another one for me is got to be X-Men 97, when Gambit makes Wolverine's claws do the
Well,
thing with the purple, and like he charges them and then like jumps on his back. Like that whole thing was just insane. That was so cool.
yeah, I mean, I already mentioned, the death of Gambit was a big one
Yeah.
for me, but um, I'm going to mention one that wasn't on my list because I can admit that the show wasn't very good, but The Acolyte, the final episode of The Acolyte is everything the rest of the show should have been. It was such so many good moments in that episode. We see the Kyber crystal bleeding for the first time ever on screen. We have showing Darth Plagueis in live action, first time ever. You just so many the choreography for the fight scenes and everything like that. But like those two things, the Plagueis and the bleeding crystal, just literally, like Ashlyn can tell you, and I've talked about it before. Plagueis shows up and I go, holy shit, holy shit. I'm literally freaking out seeing this. And I don't care what you think of the show. And I'm talking about people that have a genuine opinion of the show, not just the bullshit that people were sounding. Disney, Lucasfilm, whatever, and I know it's mostly Disney. Yes, you needed to course correct, but learn how to let something breathe. This isn't the first time you've done this. You did it with Willow, which I still feel bad. I never got around to seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes a show needs more than a season. Sometimes a show needs to find its footing. If you ever watch the first season of The Office, it's not good. The first season of Parks and Rec, not good. I don't care if they're comedies. That's just the first thing that always pops in my head. The first seasons of stuff is not always great television. Sometimes
even Supernatural, like the first season of Supernatural, first season of Vampire Diaries.
Yeah, you always got to find your footing, and it was starting to at the very end there. And I think if you picked it up where you left off, even if you retooled it in a better way or like renamed it, whatever you wanted to do, you had something there, and you had some really good actors. The actor behind The Stranger and Chimere, I was shocked the performance that he was able to give, coming off of The Good Place and stuff like that. Like he was incredible once he locked into that character of the Stranger, Darth Teeth, if you will.
Darth Teeth.
And I will always be mad at you, toxic ass Star Wars and internet
trolls.
Yeah, that's the nice word, trolls. Thank you. I'm trying not to lose my shit. That you're the reason that Disney even listened to your dumb ass enough to cancel the show. I'll always be mad about it. But anyway, let's move on from that. So that was definitely my oh shit moment, before the oh shit of they canceled it. So like we said, it was a pretty big year, definitely a bigger year with TV shows than it was movies just overall. But we want to hear from you guys. What were your favorite, movies, TV shows? What were your favorite moments of 2024? Let us know in the comment section below. Be sure to, like the video, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Real quick before we call it a day, let's go around the handle here to let everybody know where you can find us. You can follow me on all social media at Andrew is losing. Also be following at Retroactive Pod, not just here on YouTube, but on, well, soon to be TikTok, maybe not TikTok. I don't know. Instagram, things like that. We'll see. It's like we got like a week. We'll see what happens. Brandon, what about you?
Venture Authentics on all platforms.
Ashlyn?
You guys can find me at BookBrat90. I on all platforms, Instagram, the soon to be late TikTok, all that good
Maybe.
stuff. Maybe we'll see. Fingers crossed something gets worked out with that, because the alternatives are not great.
Mhm.
But I just dropped my list of my top books of 2024, so you can go see that slideshow on TikTok, Instagram, everything like that. I go over all the books I read this year, ranked my top book of the year, top series of the year, honorable mention, all that stuff. So definitely go check that out. And I am currently reading The Fourth Wing, book 1 and 2. So I'm
You
getting
waiting
ready.
for that release?
Yes.
Are you gonna be at Target when it drops because they're the special edition?
Barnes and Noble. So
No, Target has its own special edition.
yeah. I normally do Barnes and Noble because out here they do like a big book release and everything,
Yeah.
and they do like a party, and it's a whole ordeal. So
I have it already pre-ordered on Amazon, but I'm going it that morning to get the Target exclusive as well.
yeah. So I'll be at Barnes and Noble doing that. And then yeah, I already burned through the Fourth Wing book, the first one, within like 24 hours. It was
That's the
crazy.
easy one. It's Iron Flame that dragged.
Yeah. I'm actually liking it so
Save it
far.
for book talk, ladies. Save it for book talk, okay? We'll do your own podcast on the channel specifically for books. I
For
promise.
books.
I promise.
Oh Lord.
Kat, you got anything going on?
No, you can find me and Brandon at Venture Off and things together.
That's what I thought. All right. Well, real quick before we call it a day, I did want to take a moment. I meant to do this at the top of the show, but I wanted to mention there's a lot going on in California right now with the wildfires. Our hearts go out to you guys. I hate saying the thoughts and prayers thing because that's just like a blanket statement, but honestly, all good vibes. I hope the best for you guys. I hope that this gets handled as quickly as possible because there's already been way too much tragedy and loss and everything like that. If you have the ability to, donate to a cause that's helping with this or anything that you can do, please do that if you can. It's not just people keep talking about, celebrities lost their homes. Well, they have money. It's not just about the money. It's about the sentimental value. It's about the things inside the home, the people inside the home. And it's not just celebrities that this is happening to. It's happening to everyday people that just live in California, happen to be living in that area. And, as people that live in Central Florida, that are around all the theme parks and stuff like that, I can tell you, we are not all rich. Sometimes we live in higher income areas. So, and just try to struggle to get by. So, again, our hearts are with you guys. I hope for a very fast recovery with everything. And, Ashley and I are hoping to make it out to California towards the end of this year with everything going on. Well, that remains to be seen, but I would love to be able to visit California, and hopefully you guys will be recovering at that point. So with all that said, I think we're going to call it a day. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.